Hello folks, we're going to go through a great healthy option substitute for pizza today. We're going to be using spaghetti squash to make the crust portion of the pizza. Of course the crust carries a lot of the calories in it, so you can skip out some of that, but you get a wonderful tasting substitute. So we've got our spaghetti squash here. This is probably a little bit larger of a spaghetti squash, probably a double batch if you're making this at home. We probably have, I don't know, 4 to 6 cups here. But you can make a crust out of, anywhere from about 2. We want to take this after it's been cooked and press the liquid out of it. That's going to help cut down your time for the crust to actually get crispy in the oven. So going through our ingredients here, we've obviously got our squash as we talked about. I've got an onion and garlic puree. Basically made this down to a mince, and that'll blend in there. You won't get any of the texture, but you still get all the flavor. Don't have to use the powders. We've got eggs. This is going to be our binder. It's going to help hold everything together, give you that more traditional crust feeling. And then over here we've got a little bit of flavor. We've got some Parmesan cheese, oregano, and red pepper flakes. So that'll help bring a little bit more flavor to the party. So we'll just start by mixing this stuff together here. While you're getting things mixed together, you'll want to turn your oven on to about 400 degrees. You'll want to be cooking this on probably the middle rack. A little crispier crust, you maybe be setting it down a mid to low rack on your oven. We'll get all this in here. Add our eggs. And the rest of our flavor here. Now, of course, these flavorings are all subjective. Kind of goes to your taste. If you like the taste of some of these things, include more of it. If you don't really care for Parmesan cheese, you don't have to put any in there. You'll still get the same basic crust feature. So we'll want to mix this up real well until we get it evenly distributed. While you're doing that, you want to think about what you're going to cook this on. We have the traditional circular pizza crust pan here. I like the perforations in the bottom to help get that even crispiness to the crust on the bottom. However, if you want to do like a square pizza on just a regular baking sheet, that's more than welcome to do that as well. Now with these, you want to make sure you got a good coating of grease on there, or oil. Standard cooking spray works well, but just so that when you're separating this crust off later, you don't end up breaking it apart and different things. So you want to kind of be careful with your depth as far as the spaghetti squash on it. This, we're going to go to the depth of the pan, which is about 3/8 of an inch. You can go up to 1/2 inch if you'd like. Kind of move it out, spread it around here. Now, while you're doing this, you'll want to think about some of the toppings you're going to put on it. And prepare those. If you want to do a traditional tomato sauce on top of it, maybe some of the more unique toppings as well. You could go with a barbecue chicken or something on those lines. But these also work great to freeze if you'd like. So we'll take this over to the oven now that we've got it reasonably flat. Cook for about 35 to 40 minutes. And we'll join you back here in a second to go over some of the toppings. Hello and welcome back. We've got our spaghetti squash pizza crust cooked here. You can see what we've done with this. We got kind of do a drier consistency. Could go a little bit drier if you wanted a crispier crust. You'll see how the thickness has gotten quite a bit thinner, and you've also got some shrinkage around the edges. Now, don't be surprised by this nice clean pan that it's in. This is actually taking this crust, flipping it over onto a rack, and then putting the, so to speak, crispier side towards the top. We're going to place the toppings on that, and as we bake it again, we'll get a nice even consistency along the bottom where the heat's coming from in the oven. So there's a lot of different varieties of toppings with this. You can go with, a truly healthy option would be like a spinach and a mozzarella. On the top of this, just a very plain, very traditional pizza. You can go with the standard ingredients that you always see, the sausage, pepperoni, tomato sauce base, cheese topping. We're going to be going with just an Italian sausage and sauce today, a little bit of cheese to kind of cover it up. We're looking at doing a couple of experimental things like a buffalo chicken pizza, or maybe even like a chicken Alfredo type pizza. Different varieties. Squash crust is really versatile with that. So let's start putting some of our ingredients on here. Starting with your sauce, and again, these things you'll kind of to your taste. If you like a saucier pizza, go crazy with it. If you don't, you can leave it a little bit drier. This is a little bit of a homemade sauce here with some of the tomatoes from our garden, but feel free to just take any standard spaghetti sauce from a jar from the store. You can spice it up with a little bit of oregano or basil, something like that, if you wanted to bring in a little bit of more flavor to it. But if you want to just leave it how it is, nice and easy, quick, fast meal. Got a good coating of sauce there. We're going to go with our meat toppings here. This was just an Italian sausage, so it was standard breakfast sausage, crumbled. We went with a garlic and onion type seasoning with it, a little bit of chili pepper flake, but got a decent covering here. It's kind of hard once you drop it without messing up everything, playing around with the sausage, but got a good amount of toppings here. Some areas well covered, some areas less. We'll do our last little bit here with the cheese. More traditionalist, again, you could go with the mozzarella, a little bit healthier, but this is what we've got in the fridge today, and it'll taste just as good. So now, with this, again, if you've got hot ingredients, your baking time is going to be significantly shorter. Let's say you start at 5 minutes and kind of work up from there. Basically, you just want to melt the cheese and try and put a little bit of a crisp on the bottom of this crust. However, if you've got cold ingredients, or perhaps you've prepared this ahead of time, just had it sitting in the fridge, you'll want to start at probably around 8 to 10 minutes at a 400-degree oven. Crispier crust, go to 425. We're going to take this one, start checking in at 7 minutes, and hopefully you'll enjoy your new healthier treat and make some better decisions instead of going right for that calorie-loaded pizza. Until next time.